Hello guys and dolls, welcome to the Spoilers and Theories videos for NCIS Season 10, Episode 15, Hereafter. I have been waiting so long to do this video. I have been waiting for over a month to do this video. I talked about it a while back, mentioning it as the episode that I really wanted to talk about, and now finally I am able to. So before I ramble any further, let's move into Hereafter. This is the official press release from CBS for Hereafter. Then, after 84 years, CBS released the official promo. Basically, it just talks about how Vance is back, but not as the director. No, he is back as an agent. Apparently, there's some big secret about his wife that both he and we are yet to find out. There's this one shot in the promo where it looks like Vance is back at the Shabbat dinner, but he's looking at himself and he's looking into the room. I am so excited for that scene. I missed it the first couple times I viewed it, but now, because it's only in there for like a second, but now I am looking forward to it so much. Was this, because it's a different angle, unless I missed something, we did not get this shot in Shabbat Shalom. I'm assuming that they shot it already because I don't think they would have the people come back for this one scene. Unless they did, that would be fantastic. But I'm assuming that it was shot already and that Vance is just in it looking back on it. I am so excited for this scene. I'll talk about that more in theories a little bit. So it looks like Jackie's secret is in this Pandora's box. So I don't know what it could be. Again, I'll touch on that more in theories, but that's what we see from the promo. We also got a sneak peek, and it's basically elaborating what we saw in the preview, where Jerome Craig is in the squad room talking to the NCIS team, who seems to be investigating some kind of fight club where they pay people to beat each other up. A fruit company does it, apparently. Oh, over here we have some strawberries, and we have some oranges, and then we have some pears, and then we have some death. But anyway, he comes in and he's like, these people who are really high up are really suspicious, and this is not good. And Vance comes in, he's like, let us do our jobs. And I don't know exactly what job Vance was doing, but he's here to do it, and he's not going to let anyone get in his way. And so Jerome Craig, he's like, okay, I'll just remove my stuff from the office. It's okay, you can come back. He's like, no, I'm down here on the floor, ready to do my job as an agent. And then they all looked as confused as I feel. I'm so excited to see Vance as an agent, because from what I recall, we only saw him as a deputy director, except for some flashbacks, of course, in that one episode with Eli. For the most part, we only really saw him as deputy director and then as director. I'm very eager to see him as an agent, especially now. After all his time in the office, I want to see him back on the field. There was also a spoiler given to us about 2 or 3 weeks ago that says that Vance is mourning over the loss of his wife and Tony and Ziva reach a turning point. This spoiler is the one that caused an eruption in the fandom, mainly the Tiva fandom, but I think some other parts definitely saw it too. The episode title is Hereafter, which I feel is a big spoiler in itself, because Hereafter usually seems to symbolize something monumental, because by definition it means from now on, the future. So whatever happens in this episode is something big. This whole episode has this sense of finality to it. Please let that be a word. I think it's a word. But I feel like it has a sense of finality to it. I don't think it'll be something bad, but even if it is, very excited to know that something big is happening. Whether it be good or bad, I'm leaning more towards good, but it's something monumental. A lot of the questions from this episode are revolved around Jackie and Tiva, so I think this is a nice segue into theories. Theories. Okay, so many theories. 1, what is up with Vance's wife? 2 big points in this episode: Jackie, Vance, and Tiva. Let's begin with Jackie Vance. A lot of times, whenever NCIS kills someone off, they end up having this storyline after death, some big secret that we did not know. Basically, when characters get killed off, they're no longer at their peak. Jenny was sick and probably would have stepped down pretty soon. Mike Franks was dying. Eli was on his way out at Mossad, which I'm not saying warrants murder, but I'm saying that it fits with the theme, and I think you all get my point. So I'm wondering what Jackie's big secret is going to be. I don't think she was sick. I don't think she was evil, because Jackie Vance seemed like a pretty well-rounded person. A lot of people are thinking it's divorce, that she was going to file for divorce with Vance before she died, and that's why she was trying to reconnect with him, the night she died. I could see that happening. I could see that being her possible storyline, and Vance looks back on his life and is like, wow, how did I miss this? Out of my time with her, when did I become so blind or, distracted with my job that I missed that I was losing my wife right before my own eyes? I could totally see that happening. There's nothing else I could really think. Was she leading like a double life? Was she secretly Oprah? I don't know what else it could be. I'm also curious because a lot of times when someone has like their own episodes, like when Ziva has an episode centered around her or her life happenings, or Gibbs, whenever that happens, they usually seem to tie in with the case. Like how Ray was the killer back in A Desperate Man. In this episode, they seem to be investigating some kind of fight club, which makes me really curious to see if that's going to tie in with Jackie, because I don't understand. That's one of the big reasons that I am very into this episode. It feels like we've gotten a lot of spoilers, but when you look back at them, we really have not. The spoilers we've gotten have been very vague because it's such a mystery. There's all these theories that people have, and I think one of them or two of them have to be true because there's so many people with so many theories. Also, Vance's kids are in this episode. I hope the kids and Vance can have some kind of happy ending by the end of this episode. Some kind of acceptance or closure to their mother/wife's death. That's what I think they need. I feel like Ziva's closure was supposed to be in Israel. I don't know if she's got it, because that scene with Tony and the dead puppets, as much as I poke fun of it, I guess there's some underlying Ziva issues there, but we just have yet to dive into them. Speaking of Ziva and Tony! Oh my god. The fandom. We get one little tiny Tiva spoiler that they reach a turning point. And this spoiler makes the fandom go mad. Everyone is suddenly theorizing and pointing out all these little hints or fan fictions, drabbles, the whole 9 yards. And I think we just need to break this apart piece by piece before we go any further. Turning point. That's a big 2 words. That is 180. And there are some people who said that it could mean a bad turning point, and I get where they're coming from because they have been doing well, and a 180 would technically mean a reversal. But I think it just means a new step in their relationship. I would be very surprised after all this progress, after everything in season 10, I would be very surprised if they suddenly had this negative turning point in their relationship. So I'm definitely thinking it's something positive. And the title, Hereafter, gets me so excited about this episode because, it could very much be Vance and his closure and his moving forward, but it could also mean the same for Tiva. It could be a little bit of both. And I know this episode is centered around Vance, and I am glad this episode is centered around Vance because I cannot remember the last time we had a Vance-centered episode. And his wife, that was a big move and a big part of this character's life and who he will become. But there is the Tiva aspect that's lurking. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think this is an okay time to do it. Someone mentioned this before, that in season 9, when Detective Burr's wife died, he led Ziva to have this sort of epiphany where she was like, if I love this guy, which was Ray, oh god, but if I love this guy, I might as well give this a shot before it's too late, because I would hate to live with that loss. So I'm wondering if that's what Vance is going to do for these two in this episode. I'm wondering if Vance is going to make them realize that they do have feelings for each other, or that, make them want to admit it. Now, will it necessarily be a kiss? I doubt they would just suddenly dive headfirst and go all out with a kiss. But turning point is a big thing. So whatever happens, it's still their turning point. We will know. Even if it's not a big thing, we'll still be like, that's their turning point. We've reached the turning point. We've climbed the mountain. And we've turned around. Another thing that makes me excited about this is that we've gotten so little spoilers about Tiva that if they wanted to surprise us, they very well could. They didn't say anything. We are the ones who are making such a big deal out of this. In reality, what we got was a very vague spoiler that we just keep building up and building up and building up. I've been trying not to get too excited about that whole thing, but it's really hard, as most of you probably know. Maybe, when Vance is out there working the field, he's finally going to see firsthand Tony and Ziva's interactions, and then maybe he'll point that out to them, or he'll point it out to someone else. I am so psyched for Hereafter. I have been excited for this episode since I saw the title, because again, Hereafter is something big. It's a very big 2 words. I really want to see this scene with Vance and the whole Shabbat thing. I hope it's not just a promo shot and that it really is in the episode, because I would be a little bit upset if it was just like they created this amazing possibility and then just let it sit in the promo. So I hope they are lifting it up to its full potential and exploring the kind of what could have happened side, because it looks like he is watching the events of Shabbat Shalom, which makes me so happy. No, it doesn't make me happy because he's gonna watch his wife die. That's not why I'm happy. I just want to see that really badly. I want to see him look back and say, well, I could have done this, but then what would have happened, that whole thing. So I believe that is all the spoilers I have for this episode, all the theories I have. I cannot wait to watch this episode. I don't know about you guys. It airs February 19th on CBS at 8 o'clock. So I cannot wait for Hereafter, and I cannot wait to review it, so I will see you guys then.